Hello, my beautiful goddesses. Welcome to another episode of this Energetics of Money podcast led by me, Polkis. If you ever felt that doesn't matter how much money you make, how much money you attract in your business, in your income, and it's never enough, like you always run out of money and you need more and more money, and maybe you feel that you cannot hold this money or abundance in your life to create wealth, and if you feel that wealth is something that other people can get, that other people can attract, create, and manifest, but you feel like you're the one that the money just comes to you and it leaves and you can never keep a hold of it, you can never call it back, or it burns a hole in your pocket, then this video is for you, my goddess. Welcome, my goddess, to another episode of this Energetics of Money and Wealth. And today I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about the scarcity mindset and how to overcome these feelings of scarcity when money comes to you, or when you need to pay something, or when you're trying to build wealth and abundance in your life and you feel like money is always running out the door. And it's very important because when we are trying to create wealth and create abundance in our life, then a lot of these feelings are going to show up if your subconscious, if your reality, it's different than the reality that you want to create, because wealth and abundance is just another energetics that we have to master here as humans. So I have my notes here because I'm going to be forgetting stuff. Financial freedom always starts within. This is something that I always say. The reflection of your external, of your physical reality is just a reflection of what we have inside, of the 99% programming we have running in our subconscious. It's what's showing up in our reality. We are the creators of every circumstance that happens. So therefore, these feelings of scarcity are the ones that might be showing up in your physical reality right now when it comes to opportunities to create wealth, to manifest the right clients, to manifest or create or attract the right people in your life that can open opportunities for you when it comes to money. So to start with, let's talk about what is a scarcity mindset. If you don't know, maybe you felt it, but let's discuss just briefly what is a scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset is the belief that there is never enough. Doesn't matter how much I make, doesn't matter how much I get paid, there is not enough, at least for me, but I see other people having it. I can't afford that, it's too expensive, I can't have that, this is only for other people, making money is hard, there is never enough, money comes and goes. And if someone creates wealth or gets the new car or gets the new job with a higher pay, or wealth, they got an inheritance, or they got paid better than me, then the source is running out. If they get it, I can't get it because there is not enough. So a lot of people run on autopilot in this type of mentality. You can fix things if you are not aware of your current autopilot thinking. So if you're watching this video, thank you for watching. Give it a like and check the other videos in this new podcast. An example of a scarcity mindset will be if you get your hands on some money, or you get paid, or you have extra money and then you're afraid of spending or buying or investing because you think that this money is not going to come back. So you have fear that if you put this money out there, you might lose it and never see it again. Like, what if it's gone, right? So this is an example of thinking in lack, thinking in a scarcity, like there is never enough, the money that I can pay or invest is gonna just blow away. So now we're gonna talk about shifting from scarcity mindset into abundance mindset. So the number one thing that I always say when it comes to money or changing anything about your belief system in any area of your life, basically you can apply these concepts. It's, what is your money story? I think the number one episode of this podcast, of this series, has that whole, we go whole in depth, right? So what is the money story? Once you find out the environment that you grew up, the things that you learn about wealth, the things that you constantly see, hear, listen, watch, consume, not just from your family, friends, relatives, people close to you, the town that you grew up, What are your surroundings? Are your surroundings screaming brokenness, scarcity, limiting beliefs? Then naturally we consume and adapt those things. That's just how we survive here as human species, right? Like we try to adapt and belong into the society so we don't get killed, right? So we can survive. This is so animalistic kind of like traits. But when we grow up as children, this is what we pick up. And if you go to a job where you don't get paid enough and everybody's happy with their pay, then you are going to adapt to that mentality in order to fit in. So we always have to be aware of what is the money story that is running back in my head. And this is something that I always check myself on, especially when I'm trying to invest, when we try to grow our business, when we try to increase rents or remodel a property, or my new adventure that I got into, which is day trading. Doesn't matter. This is something always that you have to constantly check yourself. What is the current money story that I'm having? Because this money story is gonna change as you evolve, as you change, as you grow until the next level. Guess what? That level, you're naive in that new level. Maybe you're an expert at the level that you currently are. And once you transition to a new level, maybe a new income, a new wealth, a new career, new levels of healing, for example, then at that level, you're the beginner. So that's why it's always important to check constantly what is the current money story I'm telling myself. My money story is way different now or today that was 5 years ago, but today there's still some blocks that I'm fixing, but they're not the same blocks from 5-10 years ago, right? Like I'm constantly checking every 3-6 months, if not every day, when I'm trying to do something, and even teaching about it, right? I'm constantly checking myself, what is the money story? Because over there, once you go deep and you catch yourself saying, I can't afford that, this is too expensive, that doesn't happen for me, that only happens for rich people, or judging people that have acquired wealth or that are growing their bank accounts, or that maybe they got into new investments and you feel a little like judgment about them. Catch yourself in these moments, like the negative talk that you are telling your subconscious is telling you, because that's what's running the whole show. For example, when you think about, I can't afford that, or that's too expensive, it's too expensive to invest, like I don't have $10,000, it's too much money, how can I get it? Instead of saying those type of things, question like what instead of how, switch to why, or instead of the how, teach why do I want to invest in that? Because it will unlock different levels of wealth. I can have more time with my family. Maybe you're a working mom and now you want to be a stay-at-home mom. Why do I want to do it? And how can I create wealth? Instead of like, how can I afford that? Switch it and reframe it to, how can I create wealth? How can I create an extra source of income? Or how can I transform my mentality around money so I can create more of it, so I can call it in? Another point that you can start practicing is focusing on what you have. Remember 5-10 years ago, girl, you were probably trying to manifest the things that you currently have right now. And if your situation is worse now than before, then there is some things that you need to change internally so that can, you know, transform your external reality. And I'm so glad that you're here listening to these things, because we forget to be grateful. I always say the number one force for me that has given me everything and keeps me in check and always grounded is gratitude. As soon as I open my eyes and I'm conscious that I'm awake in another awake life in here, this human experience, I say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Creator. Thank you because I'm alive. And that's how I start my day, always with gratitude. And we forget how bad we had it at one point, and maybe you're living the current life that you wanted before, but because we are always seeking for more, we think we focus on the lack, on the things that we don't have. And if you notice that scarcity, that's what it is. It's a focal point, a tunnel vision into what you don't have. But then you forget that maybe you have the great daughter or the great son that you always wanted to have. Maybe you have a house and a car and a husband, and maybe you want the job. Remember, oh my God, a lot of people fast. They fast for 2 days for the job, and then once they get the job, they hate the job. But girl, you got it. So you have to be grateful for the things that you currently have, because that's a way of receiving. You're showing God that you're receiving, that you're happy with what he has sent you. So in order to create more, you have to be okay, and you have to be happy and grateful for the things that you already have. It's just like, for example, when you give a kid, who's a mom here? Hello, we know about these kids. Or if you have a sibling, or you just know kids, and when you give them a candy or you give them a toy, and if they don't show gratitude, they're just like, where's the next toy? Give me another toy. Like, and they throw the toy you give them or the candy, and then you're gonna be like, excuse you? Like, you better accept that and say thank you, right? We're all about teaching manners to these kids. So that's how I see the universe with us, God with us, right? Like, if we don't receive what we currently have and are grateful for it, how are we expecting God to send more abundance if we haven't accept and be happy with what we currently have? So once you notice all the blessings that you have, and not all blessings are material. I know we live in a material world, but also we have to be focusing on the things that the other types of wealth, the wealth of friendships, the wealth of relationships, the wealth of being healthy, of being alive, the wealth of your creativity, the wealth of having your mom alive or your sister alive or someone that really appreciates you, the wealth of nature. Right? So when we focus on these other types of wealth, we can be more abundant thinking. Number 3, we're going to shift from this mentality of spending money to circulating money. And you see how we play with these words, because words have a frequency that when we say them out loud, or when we think about them, they give this type of energy, right? So when we think about, instead of thinking about spending money or wasting money, we say it's circulating. Money is a complete energy field. So when we think about spending energy, like we don't say I spent energy, right? Like, we're circulating, because it's unlimited, it's never ending. Energy cannot be destroyed or created, it can only be transformed. So we are circulating energy. Think about the infinity sign. We're always circulating energy. So I love to think about circulating energy, where when I pay, I always pay very happy. Doesn't matter what type of payment it is, especially if it's the negative payments, the kind you have to do. I'm at that point in my life where even taxes, me and my husband, we get happy to pay them. And if I see this, he's a little serious, I'm like, hey, let's be grateful that we have a lot of money to pay these taxes, because it's gonna be great. Money circulating. We get to help societies. We have to build communities. And this is just proof that we're making money. We get to pay taxes. And when you put the good energy behind it, instead of spending money and circulating it, so you know that it's always going to come back. So when you're about to pay and you feel scarcity, right? Like, this is something very obvious when it comes to scarcity feeling. You are afraid of paying. But if you think in this mentality of money circulating, so whatever I pay is going to come back and 10 times more, then you shift into abundance, because now you know that money, that energy, that frequency is going to come back. And if you send it with good vibes, it has good momentum, it can come back and bring some friends over. Tell money, girl, leave and bring your friends over. How about that? I love that. And number 4 and final, we are going to take inspired action, because all of these manifestation, because without action, nothing is going to happen. Because let's be honest, all of these just thinking positive, doing my affirmations, girl, all of that is not gonna work if you do not take action. Remember that we are in a physical form. Now, if we will be only spiritual, then there wouldn't be a need of this physical carnita con hueso, you know, like we wouldn't be here. So because we're human and we're souls in this physical world, we need to put the action. We need to do the actual work. There's only enough prayer, enough trust that we can have in the Creator, in God, in the desire that we have. But number 4, and the most important, because all of them are important, it's you have to take action. So go ahead and invest in new skills that are going to help you grow your wealth, that are going to teach you about money, that are going to teach you how to manage your budgets. Start putting money into assets. This is a good idea for another video. a difference between liabilities and assets, because many people think that a car is an asset, and it's not. It's a full liability unless that money is making you money. Like if you're driving it for Uber, then that's probably a good asset. You can explain that way, but put it into investments somewhere that your money is going to work for you and grow, instead of just expenses. Like when you go to the mall, it's an expense. We're circulating money, right? But we're not making it grow. Also, you need to surround yourself with people that are wealthy, that are trying to become wealthy, that are working towards making money, and that have positive feelings and relationship with money. And if you don't have any of those people around you, then you're more than welcome in this goddess community, because this is what I teach here. Girl, hang around, watch the videos, listen to amazing money books about spirituality, but also like the more masculine ones that are about how to actually invest in technical skills around money. All of that is going to help your consciousness awaken and help your consciousness raise, because when it comes to money, it's not just the spiritual world. I love to teach about spirituality when it comes to money, but girl, I take action. I'm studying every day about the stock market. I join a trading group. I help my husband manage our business. I do a lot of things, but I'm just not gonna sit there and wait for God to send me a sack of money from the sky. Anything is possible though. With God, anything is possible. But I know there is some laws here in this universe that we need to put our maximum effort and actually put the effort in the aligned action to create these things. So once you start doing all of this together, you're gonna start seeing a shift from scarcity into abundance. So thank you so much for watching.